It was a deadly start to the day Friday morning in Plymouth. The Minnesota State Patrol is investigating a fatal pedestrian accident. The accident happened shortly before 4:30 a.m. According to the State Patrol, a 37-year-old man was crossing Highway 55 outside of a crosswalk near County Road 6 when he was hit by a Dodge Dakota pickup truck traveling westbound. Officials have not yet released the identity of the man killed. Highway 55 was closed during the morning commute, but reopened at 9 a.m. Meanwhile, the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office is investigating another pedestrian accident. This one happened late Wednesday night and involved a Brooklyn Center squad car. The squad car hit a woman in the area of Shingle Creek Parkway and Freeway Boulevard. The woman went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office is still investigating what happened. Robbinsdale's Cooper High School just got a big check to pay off lunch debt for its students. Valerie Castile's foundation paid the debt in memory of her son Philando, who was killed by a St. Anthony police officer.
He paid for children's lunch meals out of his own pocket. Instead of letting a child go hungry that day, he would pay for it himself because he understood the importance of a meal.
The $8,000 check will wipe out the lunch debt of just under 100 graduating seniors. School officials say they're thrilled that the students and their families won't have to worry about being in debt as they leave high school.
This is huge for our entire community in more ways than just one. This is a generous donation, but it also sends a message about how important it is to have human decency and to serve and to give.
The foundation pays lunch debts for other schools too. If you'd like to help, go to the PhilandoCastileFoundation.org/donate. Students at Fair School Crystal are taking steps to change their school climate. They tackled big issues at a school meeting on Thursday night.
Today you're probably going to hear a lot about bullying because that's what many people are talking about in society today is bullying, and so you're going to probably hear a lot about that. You may also hear about mental health. We know that throughout our society that a lot of people are experiencing mental health.
It would start on social media, and then a lot of kids will hear about it, and then they'll bring it into school.
Students and parents came together for last night's summit. Fair School Crystal students took on a leadership role, and they talked about behaviors at middle school as well as ways they could improve the climate. The school's principal was very happy with the good turnout from parents and students. Coming soon to Plymouth, a new Asian bistro and sushi restaurant. The owners of Oyama say they create authentic Asian dishes using fresh ingredients and exotic sauces. The restaurant had its liquor license approved this past week. It will be located at 494 and Rockford Road near Cowboy Jack's.
We have all the Italian pastas, we have all homemade sauces, and then we have the Chuck Wagon that is a 73-year-old company with all the same barbecue. So we have barbecue ribs, we have pig roasts, all the rubs are homemade, barbecue sauce is homemade, baked beans, and special events.
Three catering companies are merging to form a new company in Plymouth. Chuck Wagon Catering, Vesuvio's Italian Catering, and Special Events Catering are now part of the same group called MN Catering. The new owners plan to diversify the menu, and people can get a little bit of everything. Barbecue, Italian fare, or fine dining too. The owners say this will give the customers more choices. Saturday, they are having an annual open house from 1 until 3. The owners are roasting a pig and serving up their famous pizza. We've got more details on our website. Stages Theater Company is out with a new play based on a popular children's book. Neil Persley has a sneak peek in today's Weekend Showcase.
Blue sky delights the eye in spring.
Stages Theater's latest original production, The Most Magnificent Thing, is based on the popular children's book of the same name.
One of these eclectic kind of urban neighborhoods. It is inspired by the illustrations very much.
Think of it as Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood meets Peanuts. The show closely follows the main character Maggie's story from the book and colors in her world by giving names and personality to all the ancillary characters.
It is the story of Maggie, who is a girl who just wants to make what's in her head, and it takes a little experimentation to see how to get there.
I need to hire an assistant, someone who follows directions exactly.
Maggie is a tinkerer and inventor, and her trusted assistant is none other than her faithful companion, wrench.
Playing a dog is really fun. I have a puppet in the show, so it's really fun to be able to show my actions not only through my own body but through this puppet as well. It's just a really cool experience that I've never really had the opportunity to do.
The story centers around Maggie's wanting to make the most magnificent thing that starts out as an idea in her head. The challenge is getting the idea out of her head and actually built.
She is a character that has a really tumultuous emotional journey in her creative process, but she has this group of people around who support her and who won't encourage her not to give up, and she doesn't.
11 and under should enjoy this show, but it's fine for all ages, and I give it a rating of, wait for it, M for magnificent. Okay, that was a gimme. For Weekend Showcase from Stages Theater, Neil Persley, CCX News.
It had to be M for magnificent. Stages Theater Company also hosts an event called Full Steam Ahead this Saturday, featuring hands-on exhibits highlighting science, technology, art, and math. The Most Magnificent Thing is on stage through May 12th. And of course, you can find out more about that production and all of our stories on our website, ccxmedia.org.
The next wave of young talent coming into the NFL will include a young man who grew up in Brooklyn Park. Jay Wilcox has more with Park Center graduate Amani Hooker.
It's something young football players dream of. Now former Park Center and Iowa star Amani Hooker will hear his name called in the NFL draft.
You know, my emotions are everywhere. I mean, hasn't really settled in for me yet. But I mean, talking to all these head coaches and assistant coaches that you see on ESPN and on TV during game day and stuff, it's been just an awesome experience. And then talking to guys that are in the league about how much fun they're having in the NFL as well. I mean, just an awesome experience, and I'm glad to celebrate it, you know, this weekend with my family and friends.
Hooker was named the Big Ten's Defensive Back of the Year after a strong junior season for Iowa last fall. He decided to forego his senior year to pursue his dream.
I think I had a really good year production-wise on the field, and mentally I felt like I was ready. Obviously it's hard, you know, leaving school early. You know, you have your teammates, guys you were in training with, and coaches that trusted you, coming out of high school and believed in you, and not a lot of coaches did as well. So, you know, it was a tough decision, it wasn't an easy decision, but at the end of the day, I have a dream and a goal of mine, and I'm about to reach that goal.
The NFL Draft Combine was a whirlwind for Amani and included a lot more off-the-field things than many realize.
The 3 days before that they don't show, there's a lot of talking to coaches all day long, all the time. You know, you're doing a lot of medical stuff, which lasts, you know, 4 or 5 hours a day, and then you don't really get to bed till about midnight, almost 1 o'clock, because you want to stay in, you know, good shape for that final day where you're on the field. So you kind of, you know, do a little stretching, a little running here and there. But
his life will be changing soon as Amani gets a call from his new employer. He's not going to abandon his roots, though.
You find out where you're going, then you got to go there in about a week or two, and it's exciting. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, go off and just forget about Park Center, man. My plan is, you know, continue to give back to the community, not just Park Center, but to the community as well.
The ride is about to take off for Amani Hooker. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Returning 5 of them for touchdowns. The second and third rounds of the draft are Friday, with the 4th through 7th rounds Saturday. Hooker has been projected as a 3rd or 4th round pick in many mock drafts. Maple Grove and Champlin Park are two of the top prep softball teams in the area. After losing its first game of the season Tuesday to Anoka, Maple Grove looked to bounce back as they played host to the Rebels. It's a pitcher's duel from the start. Maple Grove's Ava Dewick gets Alyssa Blaska swinging on this pitch early in the game. Piper Otto of Champlin Park is equal to the task. She fans Elizabeth Berry of the Crimson in the early going. Dewick finishes off Lexi Steffes with a strikeout as the game is scoreless through 2 innings of play. In the third, Maple Grove trying to get the offense going, but check out the diving catch by Rebels first baseman Holly Blaska. gets the runner at first to double off the runner and make it a double play. And that saves at least one run because the next batter, Jade Tomaszek, blasted over the fence and left where it turns out to be a solo shot. It's 1-0 Crimson after 3. In the 6th, Maple Grove bunts into trouble. Barry's try snared by Abby Gilk. She throws to first to complete the double play. Maple Grove makes plays in the field to help Duick to a shutout. Barry with a nice pickup in the 7th inning on this play coming up as Maple Grove holds off the Rebels. 1-0 Crimson, the final. The Osseo baseball team has lost its share of close games this spring. Thursday night, the Orioles played another tight one when they hosted a Hopkins team that came into play with a 4-2 record. Top of the 3rd inning, Will Stein hits a hard ground ball that Orioles second baseman Matt Holine makes a nice play on, backhanding it, but his throw to first too late. Wyatt Nelson scores, and it's 2-0 Royals. The Orioles get a run back in the bottom of 3rd. Seamus Reese singles to left field. Lucas Parton comes around to score. It's 2-1 after 3. It stays that way until the 6th inning. The Royals' Luis Felamovicius singles to left field. Ball is bobbled out there, and that allows Calvin Harris to come around to score to make it 3-1 Hopkins. That's the finals. Hopkins holds off Osseo 3-1.